Hello, and since John's not here, welcome back to Tight 10 on Titan.
Welcome back to Tight Tentacles.
Oh, that's right, we're on Tight 10 Tickles.
Yep. So hello, welcome. It's been a couple of weeks, but we're back. We're back. Hello, Chris.
Hello, John. I've got my notes.
You've got your notes. Excellent.
on a KFC napkin.
Yeah, no. So welcome to season 7, episode 4. I think it is. Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Of Tight 10 and Tight Tentacles. But Tight 10
I did notice your title this week is "Look, Cthulhu's Talking."
Yeah,
it's a good one.
I'm trying to do a Lovecraftian pun a week. If you're watching live, feel free to comment as we're going along. If you're watching later on after we've been, then you can still comment. We just won't be reading it live because that's the way time works.
Yep.
And feel free to share the broadcast. Tell your friends. Share and subscribe. Share and subscribe. Here we go. We love our viewers, but we'd love to have more.
Yeah, we always want more people interacting as well, because the funnest ones have always been when there we go. Hey, thank you very much, Lucy.
Lucy, my manager.
We've been away for a long time. I don't think I had any. I think I was clean shaven last time.
Yeah,
we did one of these.
I'm having skin issues. Look at this. All spotty.
All spotty. Do you know what? Do you know what it looks like? It kind of looks like predators aiming at your head.
Excellent. That's probably what's happened. That's what I've just got bad skin. I've got fucking horrific. It's really difficult because I'm a genuinely handsome guy, and
just
I'm one of the beautiful people.
I'm stunningly attractive. If it wasn't,
yeah, exactly. It's a tough cross to bear. But when my skin's bad, your
skin thankfully keeps you humble.
It does. Imagine what it'd be like if my skin was perfect.
Yeah, I mean, there'd be no stopping you.
There would be no stopping me.
Walking up Sucky Hall Street in your skinny jeans.
Yep, I know. It's just I'm genuinely lucky that I've got bad skin, because it keeps my feet on the ground.
Keeps the sin of temptation from you.
It does, absolutely. Keeps the sin of temptation from everyone else.
Yeah, more to the point.
I want a piece of the action. I think you'll find this season, Lucy, this is horror.
Yeah, not.
It probably still fits.
It's always a fantasy for me.
So, thank you. Chris, you actually came out recently and saw me do some comedy, so that was cool.
I did. Yeah, that was a really awesome gig. In fact, I watched two gigs. You performed in one gig.
Yep.
And half watched it, and then watched the other gig. It was really, really fun night. You made friends with a guy whose name you forgot, Larry. He was in the front row, and he loved you.
He did, yeah. So, Larry, if you're watching, hello.
Hello, Larry.
Obviously, after this, I'm having to run off. I'm sorry, I'm going to just stop right there, because I've made it sound like it's a chore, and it's not a chore. I'm going to run off after this. And Ian McDonald, if anyone's near Junkyard Hamilton tonight, Ian McDonald is doing a run through of his Fringe show. So he's doing a Fringe preview. And I'm just going to run down and give him a wee quick 10-minute support.
That would be great.
I'm not going to go on stage. I'm just kind of going, I support you, Ian, and then I'll bugger off again. So
how many punchlines do you think Ian's Fringe show has total? It's got to be hundreds, right?
I would think so. I mean, it's not. I mean, anyone that doesn't know, Ian does one-liners. So yeah. I would hope
does that, very good one-liners, and he does them so fast and so many of them. He's always seems to be writing them.
I'll try and count them.
You try and count them? Yeah, go and count them. Yeah. 5,463. Lucy is Rain Man did.
Yep, she
Rain Woman did.
Rain Woman did. Rain Person.
I don't ring off the tongue, Rain Woman. Rain Jane did.
Rain Jane. So I'll ask him. He probably knows. But the premise of his show is around the world in 80 puns. So he doesn't know. That's the thing. He's going to get members of the audience to shout out like country stuff, and he's going to tell a joke about it. So,
wow. So yeah, you can
it's
pick
going to be
any
quite
country.
unique. Every show is going to be unique. Although I'm
Yeah.
sure there'll be certain countries that people always shout out. So, but in terms of
I reckon also there'll be countries that people shout out often because they're trying to trip them up. Like someone will say, "Tongue, did you just say I'd like to tongue rain woman?" Is there a rain woman?
Yeah, she's the latest. It's the latest Marvel film that's coming out.
Oh yeah, is she someone that controls rain, or is she really good at counting cards?
Both. She's
Both.
amazing.
She's
Yeah,
multi-talented.
she's a woman, she can multitask.
Yeah, brilliant. I forgot what we were talking about before that.
I've forgotten as well. Yeah. Oh, oops. Ian McDonald. Ian's show.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah, how many punchlines? And it's all about all around the world, so you can just shout out. There'll be places. I was going to say there'll be places like Burkina Faso and stuff like that. People will shout out, but they'll do it to trip them up, and then you'll have one loaded.
Yeah, that's kind of what you do, isn't it? You just know there's going to be something that's going to try and mess with you.
The Ivory Coast. Think about other ones now. It's going to be the whole stream. I'm trying to think of. I'm gonna write them down, and we'll go to Ian's show and we'll start shouting them out. See if we can catch them out.
We should
Abyssinia.
We should do a fringe show. So we should sell tickets for people to come and watch us try and fuck Ian's show over.
Imagine how upset you'd be if you were doing a show and someone showed up with a bigger crowd than your show had to come
and their job
mess up your
show. Do you know what? I'm going to say to him that I'm going to just
pitch this idea to him.
I'm going to pitch it to him and tell him that he can get half of any money we make.
That's how we get the acts. We have the cash in front of their nose.
So I'm just kind of going, we're going to mess your show up, but you're going to get more people in. Like, it's the friends. I'm just like, yeah, beauty. If you can give me any double figures.
Man, what a show. What would be the worst show to do that on? Maybe like one of those Shakespeare ones, where it's like the improv Shakespeare, just come in and really mess them up.
Take people into Macbeth. Is this a dagger I see before me? No, it's fucking no.
It's a missile. Because they have to improv.
Improv Macbeth.
You could really mess one of those shows up.
Yep.
Yeah. Do they do it from a hat? Or do people shout out? I suppose maybe
they shout out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So no, it's not from a hat. Because if you did it from a hat, then he'd have a joke for every one of the things in that hat.
What I'm talking about at the Shakespeare thing.
Oh, right, okay.
No, obviously Ian shouts out. No, I meant at the Shakespeare ones.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Well, I've never been the one, so maybe I should go. I've heard they're good.
Yeah. Let's have a fringe adventure this year.
No, I wasn't gonna. I was gonna compound the words, but it was a mistake.
Fringenture.
Shit.
I've lost.
What? Nothing.
Fringenture. It's to go out with a girl called Fringenture.
Fringenture. It sounds like the name of a dog. Fringenture. Doesn't even sound that much like the name of a dog.
What a great thing is it doesn't even sound like that much of a name for a dog.
I couldn't even name my dog after
I wouldn't even name my dog Fringenture. I've got a story about that, but I've not got a story. Imagine if I had a story about that specifically.
Yeah, it's not the first. It's not your first rodeo.
It's not my first rodeo.
It's not your first Fringenture.
So yes, 10 minutes in, and we're already talking. We actually went off on a bizarre tangent. We won't go into detail about it, but we actually started to get off on tangents before we started the broadcast.
Yeah. We were a wee bit late starting because we had a tangent before the tangent started.
No, absolutely. Which we won't bore you with. If you join our Patreon, you'll see behind the scenes access.
And my nipples.
That's all it is. It's the exact same show except we take our tops off.
It just nips out the whole time. But we closed a chapter in a way recently because right near the start of this, when we started doing the stream, I mentioned Blood Bowl to you and you never played, and we have played Blood Bowl finally after way too long.
Yep, we've had a couple of games of Blood Bowl. I was terrible in my first game. I showed marked improvement in the second.
It was first game you lost, second game we drew.
Yep. So I'm hoping that when we play our third game, that who knows, I might even draw again.
Logic dictates there's got to be a win next.
Logic does dictate. I've got a friend that I play online chess with, and the first time I played her, I lost. The second time I played her, I drew, and then the third time I played her, I won. And we're like, whoa!
And then you never played again.
No, she keeps trying to get the title back, but I keep holding her at bay. She has beaten me a couple of times subsequently, but.
But yeah, they were never title matches. They were friendlies.
Exactly, that's it. They were friendlies. If I lose, it's a friendly.
Blood Bowl. Go on with the Jeff. Is that? It's Blood Bowl, like BOWL. It's an American football game, except you play as like orcs and elves and
it's a kind of
goblins and stuff. And John, in the last match we played, killed 2 of my players.
It's called Blood Bowl for a reason. It's a messy game where it's just American football, but ultra violent and involving fantasy characters.
You can get I think the goblins' whole thing in that game is that they get one player every drive that is going to be sent off at the end of the drive. Yeah. Because it's like someone swinging a chainsaw around, and then they get sent off because it's like, all right, that's not fair. But they wait the whole drive to send them off. So you get 6 turns out of you just having this chainsaw mowing through the opponent's team. But then the idea is that once it's sent off, so you don't get it back. For those who never played, yeah, exactly.
Very much. It's good. It's good fun. No, I played the kind of. The first time I played, it was a kind of necromancy type zombie team.
Zombies,
and I killed one of Chris's characters, and then he died to get resurrected into my team as a substitute.
That's right. You got a sub from one of my guys dying. That's mad.
It was good fun.
I forgot about that until just now. That was really cool.
So we would be playing another game after this if I didn't have to run off and see Ian. Fuck you, Ian.
That's true.
No, I'm only joking.
Probably get a chance to play tomorrow, though.
So I'll run off and see Ian after. So we'll keep this tight tonight. Tight 10.
Tight 10. Tight 10. Tickles.
Exactly. So I'm again. Apologies to anybody that watches this show because, for instance, my brother watches this from time to time, and he only watches it up until we start playing because he likes the kind of back and forth. And then I kind of go, you find yourself in a dark corridor with a slithering sound at the end, and he's just like, oh, fuck this noise. And then he leaves.
Just kill Jester and I.
Kill Jester, and then he fucks off. And then, so he really does. So I'm always conscious of the fact that, because this one's one that we're quite into, that we just, I've touched the book about 5 times in the last 14 minutes. I just want to go on with it.
Yeah. Shall we crack on then?
Well, I'm worried that's not what the punters are paying for.
Well, I'm trying to remember what the last thing that happened was because it was a while ago.
Well, remember your character died and then woke up again.
That's right, yeah. We went back to the start and then I made the same mistake and then I had to write myself a note so that I didn't make it a third time.
Yep. So you asked for directions to Sentinel Hill from the person whose name was it Jim, who fixed your car.
Yes, was it Jim?
Whatever his name is.
Whatever his name was, yeah. But he told us something was wrong with our car.
Yep. He told your car radiator had a problem and he fixed it for you, and you've hopefully noted that down in your notes. I've noted it down in your notes anyway. But I'll give you a quick recap of what was said.
Yes, that would be good.
And then you were left with a cliffhanger, and considering the fact there were last episode, there was stuff slithering around you and all over you that eventually kind of killed you. The cliffhanger was maybe not quite as exciting as that, but we'll get to it. But so I'll read this out to you, and then you'll remember what your cliffhanger was, right?
Right.
So you asked him for directions to Sentinel Hill. I should have got myself some water. I mean,
Just get some honey whiskey.
Yeah, that's what I need. And well, one of the cats just went wow, right? And scene.
And that is a fumble.
That was a critical fumble. I don't go out that way much. The roads are bad. I know you take a left at the fork ahead, but not too sure after that. But check at the post office just down the street there. Mrs. Wilkins knows the area better than anyone. You thank him once again as he turns and heads inside the garage, shutting the door behind him. You turn back to your car and take another look up and down the street. There's nobody around. The place seems empty and uninviting. A cold breeze suddenly whips through the garage lot, blowing leaves up into a swirl. And you've got the choice of getting into your car and heading on, or visit the post office to see if you can get directions from there.
I think we skipped the post office last time, so let's go to that post
Let's
office.
go to the post office.
Get cracking. Let's get cracking, because I probably won't see this again for another 5 weeks.
Exactly. Right. The post office sign is easy to spot and also designates it as the town's general store. A second sign in the window reads, Mrs. J. Wilkins, proprietor.
Okay.
As you enter, a small bell hanging from the ceiling chimes loudly. Be right with you, calls a woman's voice from the back room behind the counter. Are you okay with that being my woman's voice?
Yeah, I encourage it.
It's excellent.
Very much so.
I'm just, if any women watching this have taken umbrage to my characterization of Mrs. J. Wilkins,
I think it might be just Lucy.
Feel free to put it in the comments. Moments later, the woman appears in the back room doorway. She's short and stout, with long grey hair and a smooth, plump face. She smiles at you at first, and a quizzical look crosses her face. Good afternoon, sir. Have I seen you somewhere before? You look familiar.
It's funny because we haven't actually been here. Yeah, that's it. All women will sound the same, and it'll be that voice.
Official woman voice.
It's kind of like the woman voice in the Monty Python sketches.
So she said, Good afternoon, sir. Have I seen you somewhere before? You look familiar. No, ma'am. This is the first time I've ever been out this way. You replied. Oh, strange. No matter. I was just about to close up. What you needing, sir? She asks. You ask about the way to Sentinel Hill. She turns around to the shelves and starts to rearrange items. No one's allowed up there. Not for many years. Why would you want to go there? She says, her back still turned. How do you respond? Do you tell you're writing an article about the strange murder case you read about? Do you tell you're simply curious about the house and need to find it before it gets too late? Or do you lie to her by telling her you've received a call from a colleague who's staying at the house? Or do you tell her that you're interested in buying the place?
That's a lot of options.
Yep.
Feel free, anyone, to shout out. But I think, I don't know, because I can't remember what, I know this is a different timeline, but I can't remember the first time what the story was. If you know what I mean, like, I can't remember if we were saying we were going after a colleague or if we were investigating murders. I suspect we were going after a colleague is what we said. But now we've got the option to just go off piece. So, what was the last choice?
The last choice was tell her you're interested in buying the place.
See, that's a new one. I kind of want to try that just to...
It's a bit Salem's Lot, isn't it? Want to buy the old Marston place?
Yeah. Lucy, what do you think?
Lucy, have you got any thoughts?
Should we?
Anyone else watching as well? We've got more than Lucy watching, but Lucy's our vocal.
Yeah. Everyone else shout out, or everyone elect someone to be your spokesperson. Okay, fine. Let's buy it. Well, we're not actually buying it. Let's say we're going to buy it.
It's not a Monopoly game book. Okay, good.
It's fucking auctions.
It's sold.
I'll take it. That's for me.
You tell her you're thinking of moving out of the city and you want to see the property, so you may attempt to purchase it. She laughs loudly. Buy the house? Oh, you silly folk. That place isn't for sale. It's all but condemned.
Oh.
I wouldn't buy it, mister. If you want to move out of the city and live out this way, at least pretend you've got a notion of life out here. Her laughing would make you feel embarrassed if it weren't for the fact that you've got no intention of buying this place. She composes herself and then bids you good day. She starts to shut up shop. You return to your car. The town is quieter than ever. The garage appears to... Sorry?
I'm trying to find a pen. Right. Because I need to make a note of that. You get a house and you get a house.
You return to your car and the town is quieter than ever. The garage appears to be locked up for the evening. You feel there's not much more you can do here, so you get back in your car and turn on your electric lights. Will you drive on? Perhaps the house might be easy enough to find along the main road out of town, or are you going to call it a day and look for a lodging and get a fresh start in the morning?
Last time we went straight there and we got stabbed. It's possible that the stab only happens at night, and if we go during the day, something else will happen.
Well,
let's go to the inn. That's my thinking. Right, I'm actually going to take digital notes.
Finally. But
I'm taking digital notes.
Digital notes, cool. You wander around looking for a vacancy sign, he said for the third time. Half expecting you won't find one given your run of poor luck. But you managed to find one. The landlords are a middle-aged couple. You apologise for the late hour and explain your brief visit and the need to get off the road for the night. After a late bite to eat and a long tiring day, you fall into an uneasy sleep. That is until you're suddenly awoken in the middle of the night. Do you remember this?
I do. This is the first dream.
Your eyes flick open. Flashes of green light fill the room through the window. Green lightning. The window is open, but you were sure it was closed when you retired for the night. Help us! You promised! A distant voice, terrible and raspy, which you'll remember from before. Your heart nearly stops as you dart your eyes about the room. Who's there? Show yourself, you stammer. Although I didn't actually stammer there. Anybody that knows? Any stammerers watching will notice that that's the problem when you're reading a book and you haven't actually read it. See, I'm reading it as we go, right?
Yeah.
If I knew this text inside out, I'd have known, oh, this is going to come up to a bit where I'm being told that I'm stammering, and I'd have maybe stammered that sentence, but I didn't. That was a rookie mistake.
And we all would have thought that book was a blank paged prop.
A blank page. It's not like me to have a blank paged prop. More flashes of green light pour through the window. You said you would. Go back. What are you going to do? Are you going to leap out of the bed and search the room for the source of the voice, or try to talk to the strange voice?
Last time we searched. This time we talk. Donate to our GoFundMe page to buy Chris a pen. I'm using a notepad document now, so I've digitized all my notes.
Living the planet.
It didn't take long. I need paper as well. This is a KFC napkin.
Lucy's quite cheeky. I remember before she said that we were going to get a GoFundMe for you to get a lamp so we could see you in these things.
Yeah, I'm living in poverty. I don't have light. I have a generator that runs this PC, and that's it.
It's like a little kind of rat running on a...
That's not my window.
It's not your window. Somebody else.
That's next door's window.
It's the person next door's window, and you just get to benefit from it. You're looking. That's actually another house in there, and they just look in on you.
They make sure someone has to be fair.
If you need to make money, you just open the curtain and have a wee peep show.
Yeah, I'm just covered in singles.
So if there was some way we could monetize this, just so that Chris could start to afford to live,
that would be good. Yeah,
that'd
I
be
can
amazing.
finally find out what it's like to eat at McDonald's.
So the decadence. Who's there? You ask, sitting upright in the bed. There's no answer. Show yourself. Still nothing. You look around the room. There's no feasible location for the speaker to hide, unless a sudden thought goes to the bed you're in. Do you want to check under the bed or approach the open window?
Last time we approached the open window, didn't we?
I think so.
Let's check under the bed then. Let's just do everything different. I actually think I might have repeated that by shouting out. Maybe I did look for them last time. Or maybe it's the same no matter what you pick.
Maybe. With a sudden lump in your throat at the thought that there may be somebody under your bed, you quickly leap out and drop onto a crouch to check. There's nothing. A final flash of green light pours through the open window. The voice, much fainter now, as though it were travelling in the wind, speaks one last time. Come, Frank. You promised. The speaker knows your name. You approach the window. There's nobody in the street. The sky fills again with a flash of the sickly green light.
Wait. So last time, did we break down the car and then we dragged it back to the inn? That's what happened.
Yeah. So this time you should have maybe just driven in the car and seen if you'd got there in the night. So
no, I want to revisit this at least 3 times.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. In the distance, you see a hill and perched atop the silhouette of the house. Could that be the source of the light? You wait, expecting more. Your heart rate eases and nothing more is said. It's only then that you notice the chill of the air blowing into the room and quickly latch the window. Latch the window closed as one last flash floods in the room with a green haze. You turn to get back into bed, but you find it gone.
I wouldn't have ever thought it.
The green haze lifts and you find yourself standing in a long corridor. The floor, the walls, and the ceiling all glint of polished metal, smooth and cold to the touch. At the end of the corridor are 3 markings set into the walls. You see an oval marking in the wall ahead, a circle in the left wall, and a square in the right-hand wall. They are each large enough to be a door, but smooth and flush with the wall, with no obvious way of opening. There is a low thrum in the air. You cannot tell if it's from the floor, the walls, or just the air itself. The air smells of ozone after a lightning storm.
Very nice scene setting. Bed's
The
wet.
bed did not fuck off. He fucked off. He just turned around, saw the bed wasn't there, and realised it was somewhere else.
Bed's away him.
The bed's away him. So do you call out to see if someone's going to answer, or do you examine the circle marking on the left, the square marking on the right, or pass those and examine the oval marking at the end of the corridor?
So last time we definitely examined the oval and we got an alien landscape with an alien. Yep. And we got something in the book. So this time, circle.
This time, circle. Right. Do you remember what you got in the book last time? You remember what you got in the book?
Yeah, we got witnessed an alien.
You didn't get witnessed an alien.
What? Dreamed about an alien?
You did. No, you suffocated an alien landscape.
Oh, that's what it was, right? Yeah. Well, whatever. Alien landscape. So circle door.
Circle door. As you start walking, the metal floor sounds unnaturally loud with your footsteps. You reach out to touch the edge of the shape, and as you do, it sweeps aside to reveal a passage on the other side. The passage is undefined and blurred. You step through to see what lies beyond, and as you do, you suddenly lurch forward, sliding down a metal tube.
Metal tube.
Does it say, whoa? I added that in.
We're at the park, going down a slide.
Whoa! Yeah. The tube is slick and feels wet. Before you can get your bearings, you're deposited into a dark, cavernous chamber. Your landing is soft enough, accompanied by a loud squelch, as you find yourself atop a pile of offal. The smell is also awful.
Were we not here before?
You were there, but in real life, this seems to be a dream. Last time you were there was a kind of real life scenario. The smell is sickening. You try to move to sit upright, but instead slide down one side of the mound of flesh and entrails, rolling over and over. Hitting the bottom of the mound, you spit repeatedly, feeling the entrails all over you. You stand up and look around. The chamber seems infinite, with hundreds of mounds of bones and guts in all directions, and each with a single light source above the peak of the mound, where an opening for a chute lies. Human skulls are evident in the masses of meat and bone. You have to roll a hard composure check. You need to roll 2 dice.
Oh, right. We got 2 dice. And we got a 6 total.
6 and a 1.
A 5 and a 1.
A 5 and a 1, 6, right? Okay. You add 1 to that, it's 6. You're fine. Your composure check was fine.
Hey, I think we were fine last time.
Lose 1 from your composure. The only way out is the way you come in, through the chutes above. Impossible to reach, and you spend the rest of your short life here going hungry and mad. Record in your investigator journal, you dreamt of a terrifying pit filled with flesh and bone.
We were there for real.
You've been there for real, and now you've dreamt of it.
So I guess I'll just call that gore for my notes.
I'm writing down specifically what it says because. So you dreamt of a terrifying pit filled with flesh and bone.
Whenever we were here for real, there was, what was it? There was something here. I can't remember exactly what it was.
And you gain 4 mythos points. So you're back up to 4 points.
Yeah, because we got 4 and then lost 4 for dying.
Yeah. That's until you wake up.
Yeah.
So you die. You dream that you're there forever going mad, and then you wake up. It's all just a dream.
It's all just a dream. You didn't go mad. Crotch camp?
Did one of us stand up?
Oh, yeah. No. Crotch camp's usually whenever I do dice.
Oh, you roll the dice? Right. So.
But unfortunately, at the moment, I'm in jammies.
Thank God. Big testicles. You awake, not in bed, but in the floor between the bed and the window. You feel tired as though you haven't really slept at all. You know you dreamt last night, but the memory of it has faded from your mind. Thank God.
Yeah.
Dragging yourself to your feet, you immediately go to the window. It's raining outside. The morning is overcast and grey. Still, with your mind made up, you get dressed and prepare for your journey to the house. You do remember seeing flashes of green light. That much you do recall, and you strongly believe that was not part of the dream.
Okay.
Once downstairs, you casually ask the landlady if she saw anything odd last night or lightning, but she reports nothing, giving you a quizzical look. Lots of quizzical looks in this town. You get your automobile checked over at Pete's fuel depot as you do not want to have any trouble in the rain. After some small talk and further confirmation that nothing was seen last night, you drive on satisfied with the condition of your vehicle. The rain is heavy at times, lessens, and then returns with a vengeance. The road is muddy and bumpy. There's enough daylight to afford you a glimpse of the hill every 100 or so feet through a weakened tree line. Directions or not, finding the house in the day is far easier task than last night proved. Here's a question from Lucy. If you lose composure points in your dream, do you lose it in real life? You do. You would have a feeling of uneasiness from your dream, and you'd have lost some composure. When your composure points go down to 0, you go insane.
Yeah, it's like every time you get a little peek at the dark tapestry and all that it holds, just a little bit of your mind comes away.
Goes away. It's like living in Glasgow.
Yeah. It's like being at any party. If you're me.
I nearly been at a party with, and then was going to start naming names of people. And then I actually stopped myself. I'm learning as a person.
See, this is the thing.
I'm going to start to reel off.
If you don't pedal then you don't need to backpedal.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. I know, but I know, no, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we know, we know, we know, we know, we know
who
the.
you mean.
Yeah. Does it need to be said?
No, everyone's thinking the same thing.
Everybody's thinking the same thing. But you know,
Yeah. I mean,
if you
just one night with Susan Boyle, and you never be the same.
exactly that. I would much rather
again.
that sounds like a ton more fun than the person I was talking about. But I mean, if you want to know who I'm talking, if you don't know who I'm talking about, then you're nuts. If you do, if you want to know who I'm talking, if you don't know who I'm talking about, then it's you. There you go. I'm not pointing at you, Chris. I'm pointing at
yourself.
If anybody's kind of going,
no, because if you're pointing at me, you go like that.
Exactly. I got it right that time. I hate that.
Your mum. It's your mum.
You arrive to the track that leads to the house and suddenly recall that strange voice from last night, an echo of a nightmare. I'm hoping that another woman character comes in soon because I was enjoying doing the voice.
Yeah, I want to see you stretch your legs on the woman voice again.
Absolutely. Just kind of going, I finally found that. Refusing to let your imagination get the better of you, you take a deep breath and you exit your vehicle. You turn your collar up against the rain and step through the tree line and you head up the track towards the house. Dun, dun, dun.
Never see people turn a collar up against the rain. Not outside of movies.
You've seen the house before, but there it is.
Seen the house, but there it is in all its splendor.
Obviously, a feeling of deja vu as if you've been here before. The track leads steadily upwards, twisting and turning through the blighted landscape. A tunnel of dead trees looms on either side of the trail. Despite the dull morning, you're immediately drawn to the sight between two twisted grey trees directly ahead of you. The house. Though the house stands atop the hill, the thickly knotted tree branches and dense lifeless briars lend the area almost complete privacy and inaccessibility, save for this one track that you followed. The grey mottled wood panelling of the house seeps into the skyline behind, making the house look undefined, as though we're willing its surroundings to shadow it and hide it away. Each of the downstairs windows are boarded up, with the upper floor windows in various states of disrepair. The attic window top and centre is the only fully intact window that you can see. The front door also looks intact, though the porch is littered with loose timber wood panels, twigs and other woodland debris. There is no sign at all of living vegetation. Dead, crumbling creeper vines cling to the outer walls like grey varicose veins running upwards to the thatched roof. The roof tiles appear to be intact on this side, from what little visibility you're afforded on the ground.
Manky Frankie's house.
Manky Frankie's house. The rain continues to beat down as you head up the porch steps, taking care not to trip over the myriad of loose branches littering the way. Thankful for the shelter, you stop to take a breath. Long streams of water run down each side of the porch and batter the muddy ground.
I've had a thought, unseen. I've had a thought. How much commitment and effort would it take on our part to, once we get to the end of the next timeline, when we go back and start the next stream, position ourselves, wear the same clothes, and talk and act in exactly the same way as we did previously, to completely, make it in sync as a timeline, and then only change the decisions that we make.
We can try.
It would take, I think, probably we'd both have to go to drama school for a while.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm willing to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can get a loan for another degree.
Damn it! That's the only thing stopping
us. You hold me back. God. All right, okay.
Lucy's going to start a GoFundMe anyway. We can just offload some of them. We can do a Captain Tom's family and just offload some of the money.
If I don't get those pens in that McDonald's, we could use it to pay for degrees.
Absolutely. Apologies to any member of Captain Tom's family watching.
Apologies to any people that work for McDonald's.
Right, there's a backpedaling the fuck. Right, so do you remember I told you before, if you've written certain things in your investigator journal, it gives you choices that I can't let you see. Well, 2 have happened here, which I can't tell you about.
Great, just dangle it in front of my face like that.
Exactly. So your choices are that you can knock on the door, try the door to see if it's unlocked, I head round the side of the house to look for another way in.
Get us round the side.
Yeah, do you remember what you did last time?
Yeah, we went straight in. We went into the room next to the bottom of the stairs, and then we saw a figure, and then we followed the figure, and then he stuck us with some sort of somnolescent drug.
That's true. Well remembered. Yeah. It's like it happened last week. Oh, it was weeks ago. But with some hesitation, you turn up your collar and leave the porch. A lot of turning up the collar in this episode.
Yeah, but does it keep coming down? Is it one? We need to starch it. We need to get it up and then starch it. Yeah, thank you.
I feel Lucy doesn't think that I'm giving this performance my all.
Yeah, she will literally crowdsource better quality entertainment.
Absolutely. Make these boys better.
Yeah, please.
I'm giving it a good old college try here.
I can't stop watching them. I just wish they did a better job.
I just wish John would learn to read. With some hesitation, you turn up your collar once again. And that's the ultimate. Well, remember,
you know what it's like?
It's like
deja vu. I can't remember who it was. It's like that bit that guy did where he's talking about how in the 80s when someone told a story, it was always, so they turned to me and I turned to them. So they turned to me and they said this, and then I turned to them and I said that. And he says every conversation just picture just like, so he turned to me and I said this and I turned to him.
Years ago, I read a series of books and the main character was always chewing her lip thoughtfully. Whenever she's trying to think of something, she lip thoughtfully. And by the end of the series, I just thought she'd no lip left.
Yeah, she just got big bleeding lips inside,
right down to the chin.
I've done that before. Bit my lip till it bled. Don't do it so much anymore.
Yeah, just because you learn.
It's not just the collar. It's not just the arms. You got to get the shoulders involved for a collar flip proper.
And then if you do it wrong, any water that had collected on your collar just hits you in the back of your neck, and you're like,
It just runs right down.
Yeah, it's horrid. You're just kind of going, this was a pointless endeavor.
I got caught in the rain. Getting caught in the rain. I got caught in the rain the other day.
Yeah, the weather's been very changeable.
I was out and it properly thundered down, and I was soaked to the point that you know it's really bad. Like socks is the first thing to go, and it's like the first warning bell. Like, no, the socks have gotten wet. But when it gets to boxers, that's when it's a bad one.
Yeah, exactly. You're just like you get that moment. You're kind of going, is this moisture coming in from the outside or the inside?
Please, can we get collar popping techniques on the back of a postcard?
Absolutely.
If you enjoy tonight's collar improv, we wish to improve. We're willing to look into new techniques, new approaches, new ways of new shirts.
We should set up a Discord and then just get like fan art and interaction and get them to.
Maybe we can even get a professional in to give a talk to people about popping collars.
Yeah, maybe even weeks that I'm doing the junkyard or whatever, we could get a guest speaker in.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be funny; it would just be educational and really get into the craft of it. Learning. Yeah, exactly.
Right, with some hesitation,
I'm not even going to justify that one. It was too far.
I'm just going to go back to it. Anyway, next time, with some hesitation, you turn up your collar and leave the porch to head round the side of the house. Wet mud seeps into your shoes.
Oh, right, okay. Into shoes makes sense. I was going to say into collar. I don't know why.
As you step over and around the myriad of dead tree branches that litter the yard, the windows are boarded up, though in rather haphazard and amateur fashion. Not unlike the way that I stumbled over that sentence.
Someone should run a mop over this place.
Exactly. The windows are boarded up, though, and rather haphazard and amateur fashion. Do you want to try and pull some of the boards away from the window? Keep heading round the house towards the back, or you can head back round the front, knock on the door, or head back round and try and open the front door. So it's giving you the option to head back and do one of the other things, or take boards away from the window, or continue your journey round to the back of the house.
I feel like taking the board. I mean, I don't know. I'm not Andre the Giant. How am I going to just rip these boards off this window? I feel like we probably need to pick up a hammer or something.
Do you want to try it or not?
No, I want to go around the back. I'll worry about that. I'll make a mental note that that's an option.
Okay, fair enough.
There's no need to be trying to pry wooden bars off with my hands.
Indeed. Around the back of the house, the condition of the yard is even worse. The back door is also boarded up and looks like too much effort to attempt entry here. You don't have many options, so you decide to head back round to the front of the house. I think that maybe you are going round here specifically. My gut feel, right, and it's not often that I kind of break the fourth wall like this. My gut feel was that you were possibly supposed. The whole point of going around that house was to possibly do something with the boards.
Okay, so not only are boards an option, boards are the only option.
You're too late now. Do you want to knock on the door or test the door to see if it's unlocked?
Test the door to see if it's unlocked because we know it is. Wait, maybe it'd be harder for him to jab us if we knocked and he answered the front door. It doesn't matter. Let's just go in.
You're going to see if the door's unlocked?
Do you know I have a really good mental map of that place so far?
Cool. You might need it.
I want to go to the door at the end of the hall, like straight across. So yeah, let's test if the door's unlocked.
You're pushing the door until you're surprised it opens.
It's not a surprise.
It's not a surprise. Easing it open further, there's a loud creak from the old neglected hinges.
I don't listen to it, and I just go straight ahead. If he's there, I grab his face and I push his face out of the way. And I go on. I'm just like, no, excuse me.
You step
in the middle away.
We'll see if that's an option, okay?
Sorry, I got excited.
I know, I could tell. You step into the darkness beyond the door and wait for your eyes to adjust. No, I don't. You're standing in a dim hallway. Old picture frames line the wall on the left. The main staircase runs up the right-hand side. At the foot of the stairs on the right is a door. Facing at the end of the hallway is another door. Finally, there's a door under the stairs which likely leads to the basement. Where do you want to explore? Do you want to open the door nearest to you at the front of the stairs? Try the basement door. Go upstairs. Try the door at the head at the end of the hallway, or stay put and call to see if anyone's here.
Straight as an arrow.
So try the door ahead at the end of the hallway.
Yes. Yes. So usually whenever we read books, we go over new stuff all the time. My ADHD is like, let's just get past this bit.
The door opens into a large kitchen that encompasses the whole back of the house. However, it is as expected in poor condition. It doesn't look as though anyone prepares meals here. The counters and the tables are covered in dust with numerous cobwebs stretching in all directions. There's absolutely nothing useful here. Now what? You want to try the basement door, the door at the foot of the stairs, head upstairs, or call out?
Fucking hell! Did like whenever they were designing this house, did they just leave everything in the front section of the house? The back door's featureless. It's white paint, featureless. It doesn't even show any of the disrepair. The back room is just empty. Okay.
Nothing happening here.
Basement door, please.
Basement door.
Featureless rear to this house. I guess because it's on a hill, and maybe the back side of the hill, there's like nothing there, so you only see it from the front. So they just didn't finish the back.
Yep. The basement door opens over a stairway leading into the darkness below. Yep. A damp, mouldy smell rises from the basement, but mixed with something else. A chemical odor. You take your flashlight from your satchel and aim it down. Dust motes fill the beam as it shines on the stone ground. You can't see anything unusual from up here.
Yeah, they got to the back and they were like, we'll just throw a tarp over the back of this.
So your choices are to head down the steps. You can step away from the basement and call out, see if anyone's home. Head up the main stairs or try the door at the foot of the stairs.
Down the stairs.
Down the stairs. Let's do this.
We've already been upstairs and it's not fun. So I'll take the creepy basement, please.
Using the flashlight, you scan the basement. Loose stones, pieces of wood, and dirt litter the floor. Rotten wooden shelving rests against two of the walls and contains nothing of interest. Empty and broken bottles and various containers of junk. Piles of wooden crates lean against the south-facing wall. Seeing nothing of interest here, you head back up the steps. Suddenly, you're surprised by a figure at the top of the stairs just as you're coming out. A man, possible in his late 50s, steps in front of you and jabs you with a syringe.
He didn't even say hello this time.
You fall backwards, tumbling down the steps, breaking your neck in the process. You just fell down the stairs and broke your neck.
Oh my God.
According to your investigator journal, you were killed by an unknown assailant on the basement stairs and lose all your mythos points.
It's the unceremoniousness of that really got me there. It's just like, you go round the back, you find nothing. You go down the stairs, or you go in the house into the back room, you find nothing. You go down the stairs, you find nothing. You see a man, he stabs you.
You're dead.
Imagine that was my first playthrough. Like, no information, none of that crazy time travel stuff upstairs. Just you get stabbed by an unknown person.
So you've just been, killed again.
This one was way funnier than the last one. I hope it has a lot of blunt deaths like that. Yeah.
That's the last thing you hear as you stumble to your death, and you hear the sharp sound of your neck breaking, and suddenly the year is 1926, September the 23rd. The time is 4:45 p.m.
Is there any way we could put a giddy up?
I'm reading this.
Fine.
The fading sun casts a grey silhouette across the crumbling road as your Chevrolet bumps and crunches its way through the falling leaves. The multicoloured tree line sways in the early fall breeze, with most of their leaves still clinging on. The roadside thickets and overhanging trees clip the side of your automobile every few feet. You hear cracks and snaps as the twigs that strayed too far break off or are snapped under the wheels. The town of Durham must not get many visitors, at least not using this route. The birds are singing, however, with chirps and songs aplenty, seemingly taking no notice of your intrusion. You're thankful at least that the area is not silent, but if it weren't for the bird song, you fancy that it would be slightly foreboding to the outsider. You shrug off these fanciful thoughts and emerge through the canopy of leaves. The trees thin out and become meadows, extending far on both sides of the road. The tall grass sways in some way, while others are clearly victim of the harvest, bare and flat. A beaten-up old sign nailed to a thick post reads Durham. Squinting through the glare of the low sun, you see the town up ahead. You enter the town and pull your vehicle to a garage. The sign over the place reads, Pete's Fuel Depot. It's Pete, not Jim.
Old Pete. How could we forget Pete?
You don't need fuel just yet. You've more than enough for the time being. You're looking for directions to Sentinel Hill before it gets too late. You'd hoped to arrive hours earlier, but took a wrong turn in Kingsport. The garage has just one pump and looks a little run down. The paint is peeling from the wood-panelled walls, and there is no sign of any attendant.
Does that make Pete a one-pump jump?
He's a one-pump jump. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? Stepping out of the automobile, you look up and down the street, thankful for the opportunity to stretch your legs. The third time. It's quiet. You spot an elderly lady shuffling down the other side of the road, paying you no heed. There's no other soul around. What do you want to do?
I want to speak to the old lady.
Right, okay.
I know the choices now. And I know what not to ask her about.
Yep.
So
you take a few steps forward towards the old lady, which prompts her to stop walking. Good afternoon, ma'am. I was wondering if you could help me. You see, I'm not from around these parts, and you don't say, answers the woman, cutting you off.
Yes, got the woman voice back. Hey, old lady, I like the way you talk.
Good, I like the way you look, young man.
I know an inn close to here. I get some horrible dreams when I keep you company at night.
You couldn't afford me any, sonny.
I'll be there in 9 months when your dust breaks.
Her head is bowed. Her heavy-lined face remains fixed in the path in front of her feet, but you can see her eyes and heavy brow rise to look at you. What are you going to ask her? Do you tell her you're looking for Sentinel Hill and ask if she can direct you, or do you inquire about the town and its absence of people?
Directions. Right, now here's where we got to take notes. We actually have to take notes now because we don't get when I'm dead, I'm done with it. I now need to actually figure out how to finish this game. Right, okay, so we got left, and then I think it's right, but that was a guess based on the fact that we went straight instead of right. And then the car broke down. All right, Granny, give me this info.
I'm looking for Sentinel Hill. You see, I read about this old house up there, and I wanted to take a look. You pause to allow the woman to respond. She lifts her head slightly, looks you in the eye, but remains silent. You see, I couldn't find it on the map, but I read that it was close to Durham. You continue, her stare making you feel on edge. You're about to continue further when she speaks up suddenly. Sentinel Hill, you say? What would your business be with that old place? What is your response? Do you tell her you're writing an article about the murders 10 years ago?
No,
do you tell her you're curious because you're thinking of moving out of the city? Or do you ask her why the town is so quiet?
Okay, this time we can make because we're going to be back here soon. So let's go first option. Let's get out of the way.
Right, article about the murders 10 years ago. Here we go. She eyes you up and down for a moment, her lined face locked in a curious stare, and then she speaks up. Tragic that was. Poor family. 'Twas a boy that did it, didn't you hear? Young Edward, eh? Turn. Yeah, it was turn. He turned on his own. You get a raspy sound emanate from the old woman. You realise she's laughing at her pun. Never did catch that boy. Tragic. Did you know about them? The family, you ask? In a roundabout way. The mother, don't recall her name, was a sweet enough thing. A painter she was. Went about painting the land hereabouts. What was her name? She raises a weather hand to her chin. Wow, which I just did. And then bows her head in thought. Melissa. Oh, no, sorry. You're saying that. See, I fucked it. I did that. Melissa, ma'am? You offer. No. Oh, was it? Mayhap. Anyway, my boy, I need to scoot. I don't rightly remember the way, but definitely take a left, young man, as it's out that way, she says, pointing to the west. And with that, she shuffles away, mumbling to herself. What are you going to do now? Do you want to enter the garage, call it a day and look for lodgings, or return to your car and drive on? Perhaps there'll be a sign to point you in the right direction towards the hill.
Car. Return to the car. Let's go.
Return to the car. Let's do this. We're getting very close to finishing time.
That's true. Oh, we got to keep it tight because you're gigging.
No.
But she just gave me. Can I just point out that she gave me the exact same information that Pete did? That old lady's useless.
That old lady was useless, but I did get to do her voice, so that's good.
Yeah, and I'll make you do it again because there's other options to say to her.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. Lose my voice on. I'm about to go and gig. You get back in your car and roll away from the garage. You glance in your installed rear view mirror, which you find vital for the crowded Boston streets, and see what appears to be the garage attendant walking out in the middle of the street. He's watching you leave, rubbing his hands with a rag. You've picked up too much speed to bother stopping now. Further on, the road narrows and gets a bit rougher. Da, 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 da. It's almost 6 p.m. as you're rolling slowly along the leaf-strewn road through the woods, keeping an eye out for the house. The evening is fast approaching, and the low sun is now obscured by dark clouds. The overhanging trees are in cahoots with the clouds, darkening the evening more as they form a tunnel that envelops the road. You switch on the headlights to improve visibility and prevent you from missing any telltale signs of the house's whereabouts. The road starts to slope upwards as you enter the hills that stretch across the side of Durham town. A few minutes pass when you arrive at a fork in the road. The trees and brambles are thick, knotted together as though the one wants to strangle the other. Even the electric lights in your car can't penetrate them to the other side. Protruding twigs and tree branches scrape off the car every few feet. There is no signpost at the fork. You want to take the left fork or the right fork?
The left fork.
Let's do it. You take the left fork, the road's getting a bit bumpier. You soon arrive at another junction. Do you want to go straight on or turn right?
Right.
Sorry, McDonald, if you're watching it. Which you won't be because you're supposed to.
You have fallen off the edge of the world.
Oh, man. The road widens, and after a little way, you come across what appears to be the main road junction. You stop and look around and spot the unmistakable outline of Sentinel Hill and perched atop of the house, far off to the left and behind you. You're clearly heading away from it. You curse your choice of direction and make to turn the car around. As you head back, the lateness of the hour and your own tiredness stops you to reconsider your actions. You now have a good idea of which way to go and decide in the morning that is the only sane choice. You head back to Durham. You fucking hell.
So I did it right last time. It's just that the car broke down because they hadn't been to Pete.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So it's left and straight. So right is completely wrong.
Yep.
Damn, that's...
And I'm going to stop there because I'm going to end up repeating something I started at the end of this episode. So that's
we've already looked right back.
Yeah. So you're in your third time loop now. It looks like there's going to be a fourth. I think you need to get to that house in the dark.
So yeah, I need to get the house in the dark to catch that dude before he's ready to jab me and before whatever happened to that time travel stuff happens.
Yep. So I think it's inevitable that you're going to die again.
Yep, I think I sort of have to now.
Yep. But let's see. Who knows? I might be wrong. I don't know. But anyway, so that's us. You've died twice now. You're in your third time loop. You're gathering more and more info.
Day 3, Groundhog Day.
Day 3 of Groundhog Day. On that note, we're going to leave it.
Yep.
We'll see you next episode. I'm quite excited.
Yes, I am too. We got more done than average, and I am very much in support of it. That was great. We got a full loop done there.
We got a full loop done there. An absolute full circle in an hour, right? I know people watching might be going, they're saying the same stuff again, but we're learning.
We're learning. It's a jigsaw, and we've only got a few pieces.
You get more information each time. Right, anyway, on that note, I'm going to go because I need to run off and do a gig now, or hobble off and do a gig, or whatever the hell I'm going to do. That has been Chris Ashworth.
That has been John Carruthers.
This has been Tight 10 and Titan. Good night.
Sayonara.